Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today on the channel I will be discussing how to manage work pressure as a first year associate or staff in any organization, or how to manage work pressure particularly as an NYSC associate in a law firm. So in about 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to be taking you through some of the insights that I received from a few friends of mine, because I sampled opinions and asked people how they managed work pressure during their first year or the NYSC year in their organization. So stay tuned and we'll get right into it in a jiffy. So welcome back. Like I said, I sampled a few opinions and I'm going to be sharing those insights with you. Your first year as an entry-level staff in any organization, especially if it's a fast-paced work environment, is likely to be some of your toughest. And the reasons are not far-fetched. First of all, you're just leaving either law school or uni for work life, and you're trying to adjust, and most of the skills that are immediately required of you do not possess. So you're bound to struggle a bit, and then it just depends on your ability to catch up very fast and to learn and to grow under these extreme pressures. So it is only normal that you are stressed. So it is normal that you feel a little bit stressed out. But how exactly can you manage this work pressure? And that's what I'm going to be sharing today. And there are a few, suggestions. So first of all, I personally didn't realize this on time. When I joined the firm, I was bent on, building a reputation for the most hardworking staff. So I said yes to every request, even though I was stretched, to my limits. So the first tip to manage work pressure and stress and crazy deadlines is to communicate effectively. So while you shouldn't be too quick to say no, and then anybody comes to you and say, "Oh, can you help me with this?" You say, "I'm sorry, I cannot do it. I'm doing A, B, C, and D." Your approach really should be to communicate effectively and say, "Oh," before you say no, you should actually ask the person, because you're already saying no and you don't even know if the person needs the work by next week. So the person already can get the vibe that this one is a lazy person, doesn't ever want to do anything, right? So you should first of all ask when the work that the person is about to give you is due before you say no, right? It works like magic, because it helps you to create a very good impression that you're always ready to help and you're not always too quick to say no. Next thing then is to communicate or ask them actually when the work is due. So the best day, everybody's work is always due that same day. "Oh, I need it ASAP." Say, "Oh, well, I'm able to do it, but I am currently doing the first draft of an opinion that will be reviewed first by the senior associate and then the partner, and it is due to the client today. So this is actually very urgent. Or you're happy to take on this new work, right? If you can communicate the urgency to so and so senior, right? So that they can have that conversation whether you should stop doing what you're doing and then take up this new task. Usually, if it is that important, some seniors can actually go and speak to the other senior and say, "Oh, I need this person to actually do this because they've been working on it for some time and they're the only one who understands, or they've done previous research on the work." And then they can take your present work away from you and give it to somebody else. Or the senior can just say, "Oh, that's fine," and then they can take the work to another person. That is always good, or better than you taking on both tasks due the same day and then you're under pressure while you're doing one, you remember that, oh my God, this is due by 5, and then you stop that, and then you start doing this, and you don't finish. You end up not finishing either of them by 5 p.m. and it makes you look extremely bad. So communicate effectively. Now the second tip, right, is that, and I think this should have been number one, really, is that once you get into that organization, find yourself a buddy, a professional buddy, a friend, or a mentor. My approach really is to find somebody who is as close to your role, or your ranking in the firm, your position as possible, right? You can find a mentor in higher cadres, but your buddy, your friend, the person you can always talk to, oh boy, I beg, go help me, should be somebody who is very close to your level, right? So if you are an NYSC Associate, you should find a work buddy that's recently just finished their NYSC Associate. So their experiences are usually very relevant to you, and I can always talk to her and say, oh, I'm trying to do this, how do I do it? How do I? It can even be as little as asking them how to address a partner. Oh, like, how does this partner like to be addressed? Can be, and those little things can get you into trouble. So the work buddy can help you to avoid those very silly, avoidable mistakes. The third thing is, sometimes you can decide to work on the weekends to make your week lighter. Now, I know that a lot of people are like, oh my God, my weekend, that's the only time I've got to rest. Why should I be working on the weekend? Sometimes, unless it is extremely urgent, right? A lot of people or partners do not, or your seniors do not expect you to work on the weekend. You may get a task, right, on Friday, and there's some clients, they just choose to come back on a Friday of all days of the week, right? And then they tell you that this work is due on Monday. Really, nobody needs to tell you that you need to do some work on the weekends, right? Even though it is not expressly demanded of you. But it helps that you do some work, whether sometime on Saturday or after church, or or after you rest on Sunday, such that by Monday morning, when your seniors start chasing you for the work, you've actually almost finished it, or even finished it. Even though you can wait until Monday morning before you send it or whatever, just make sure that you do some work on the weekend so that your weekdays are a bit lighter. Really, one of the ways to engage, to make your life easier, when I get a task and it's sounding like French, I do my research. But before I start writing anything, I then go and meet some of the most knowledgeable people on the team. They've done this over and over and over and over again. And then I tell them, oh, this is the request from the client. I found this, and this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? But what I wouldn't do is not research at all and then go and ask people for the answer, because I'm doing a disservice to myself. But once I've done some research, before I start writing and then going to Benue when I'm supposed to be going to Yobe, right? I usually would talk to a senior, and that always helps, right? Sometimes it could even be a partner that gave you the task, and you're thinking, oh my God, maybe talking to the same partner may make you look bad. You can easily talk to another partner and say, oh, like, we're doing this, and this is what I'm thinking, that from experience, sir, what do you think? And the partner can give you insight that can save your life, and it can save you a lot of time. And then you can run with it, do more research, and then look for authorities to back it up. Now, the next thing, whether or not today, your phone can be a very, very major distraction. And you can end up, working, strolling through Instagram, scrolling through Twitter, working, and before you know it, the day is almost gone. And then you have work to deliver, and then you're under immense pressure. So for me, right, and some people think it's extreme, I have an app called Focus Lock. Now, what the app does is that once I activate it for a number of hours, I can activate it for 4 hours straight. It will delete all my downloaded apps, including the focus lock app itself, so that I cannot change my mind while I am working in those 4 hours. So when I go into 4 straight hours of concentration. If it's an opinion, I'm likely to finish it within those 4 hours, and then I send it off, and I can reward myself with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes screen time. And if I needed to get on another very difficult task, I go into another focus lock session. It always helps me. So if you think that you're not that disciplined, to put your phone away and do the work and then get it out and then have fun later, then you can download the app. It's called Focus Lock. It's on App Store and on Google Store, I'm sure. You can make sure to get the work done. And if you know that you're a nocturnal person, then you don't have to stay in the office until it is 10, and then when you get home you're too tired. You can always try and leave the office on time, get home, get some rest, and then start working into the night, so that you can get your work out before everybody wakes in the morning. And it buys you time, because by the time your seniors are ready to review your work, it's already 11 or 10 or 12, and by that time it's a bit quiet, because nobody's chasing you for work. You already did it through the night and you sent it out in the morning, and they're reviewing it towards the afternoon, and then it gets crazy again. It all depends on how you want to manage it. And once you find what works for you, well, if it's not broken, why fix it? So for me, it's always worked for me. Right from uni days, I get up early in the morning, I do the work, I send it out, and then most people start to get ready, start working by 9, 10, 11. So my mornings are always very quiet, so I can get up and work out and do other things that make me happy, get on YouTube, do whatever, and then start the day, knowing that I am not owing anybody anything. And they start to come back from 11, 12, and then it gets crazy again. So really just look for ways to make your life stress-free. Now the next thing, really, and this is very important, you're just 2 weeks into the work and somebody at work is already giving you anxiety, and you're starting to develop low self-esteem. It looks like you can never get anything done, really. I think that what you need, what you should develop, is great attitude. And you need to first of all know that for some seniors, not all of them, for some people, it's nothing personal, it's just the work, right? So if you know that it's not personal, if this person, is giving you feedback and they're maybe angry or irritated or mad at what you did, or telling you, oh, you don't like what you did, and it's nothing personal, it's just the work. I mean, when you do good work, hardly, some people they're not generous with praise, but you can tell, when you do good work, they always have a way of showing that, oh, you did something great, without actually saying. And once that's the way the person communicates, gives you thumbs up, then you take it and you run with it. Sometimes you can go back and say, oh, you just wanted to know if you're improving the quality of your opinion, just so that the person can say it for themselves, and the satisfaction that you get, from them saying that, oh, that was a good one and you should keep it up. And that always works, because for most people, even the most confident and most motivated of us, when you get good feedback, it actually motivates you to do more. So most people who get frustrated and say, oh, they hate their jobs, it's likely because they're not getting very constructive feedback and somebody's putting them down, and that can really be very discouraging.